Chapter 81, Breaking Through Key C. First, Alchemy, Demon Cultivator Exploration Task. Duo Bao Pavilion was as lively as usual, with the sect's disciples going in and out. Two streaks of light fell from the sky. Chu Shanyu landed first, her hand receded and the spiritual sword on it immediately shrank back into her hand. Han Yi was a bit slower. He patted his chest, having landed successfully. It was his first time flying with a sword and he found it hard to adapt. However, it was much faster than riding on the immortal cranes. As soon as the two of them walked into the Duo Bao Pavilion, Han Yi was attracted by an ancient bronze furnace in the glass cabinet at the entrance. What's wrong? Seeing Han Yi standing still, Chu Shanyu was very puzzled. Is this a pill furnace? Hanya stared at the pill furnace in front of him. Recalling that he had already picked up the attributes of being a pill refining madman and extremely skilled at pill refining. At this point, he could basically consider himself half an alchemy master. The reason he called himself half an alchemy master was that he hadn't started making pills yet due to a lack of practice. So what if it is? Do you want to refine pills? Do you know how to do it? Chu Shanyu questioned with a frown. Han Yi gave a slight smile. I know a little bit. Then he looked at the elder in the front desk from Mount Duo Bao and asked, how much for this pill furnace? 3,000 lower grade spirit stones. The elder at the front desk replied without lifting his head, his abacus beads clicking away. Hanya looked puzzled. He had only a little over 2,000 spirit stones in his storage ring. Was a pill furnace that expensive? Why does every disciple in Yangshen Peak have one? Seeing his confusion, Chu Shanyu shook her head. Don't you know, besides the disciples of Yangshen Peak who are given pill furnaces for daily alchemy. The furnaces are very expensive for the disciples of other peaks. Furthermore, the furnaces in Yangshen Peak are public property of the sect and do not belong to the disciples. They can only be used temporarily. Therefore, the first thing that the disciples of Yangshen Peak usually buy is not a magic treasure but a pill furnace. Han Yi sighed and pleaded pitifully to Chu Shanyu. Miss Chu, could you lend me some? How much do you need? 1,000 spirit stones. Chu Shanyu generously took out 10 spirit stones the size of goose eggs from her storage ring. They were emitting pure spiritual ki. Middle grade spirit stones? Han Yi was surprised. It was his first time seeing middle grade spirit stones. The spirit stones refined to middle grade were more pure, thus they were more valuable. After handing the spirit stones to Han Yi, Chu Shanyu slowly said, it's just a few spirit stones, you don't have to pay me back. Han Yi, however, insisted, no, what borrowed must be paid back. I'll repay you when I have the money. Chu Shanyu smiled upon hearing his words and did not refuse. Han Yi took the spirit stones to pay at the front desk and successfully acquired the pill furnace. He also selected some simple medicinal herbs as experimentation materials. With the pill furnace, he could start officially refining elixirs. Not only would he be able to supply himself, but he could also sell the surplus elixirs. Growing spiritual plants, refining elixirs, selling products, a one-stop service. Let's go in. After showing their Duobao order to the elder guarding the entrance, they officially entered the back end of Mount Duobao and came to a huge, magnificent treasure tower, similar to the enormous treasure vault. You can select a magical artifact. The elder guiding them spoke indifferently. Han Yi came to the array of cold, gleaming sword artifacts and saw a sword with a fiery red blade, which appeared to be a magic treasure of fire attribute. The label on it read, Candle Flame, high-grade magical equipment, 2,500 lower-grade spirit stones. This candle flame looks pretty good. Han Yi scrutinized it closely and was quite satisfied. The reason he chose the fire attribute was that he found when he practiced the fire attribute method, it could be combined with Thunder Spiritual Root, producing a stronger effect. During the sect's big competition, the combination of Fire Gang Ki and Profound Thunder Blade proved to be more powerful. Other Gang Ki like Water Gang and Wood Gang were relatively weaker. So he made a mental note to choose a magic weapon with a fire attribute that would suit his Fire Thunder attribute in the future. The Profound Thunder Blade was of Thunder attribute, and the Candle Flame was of Fire attribute. He could definitely mix them together. After Han Yi made his choice, he turned to Chu Shanyu, who seemed indifferent, and asked, "Aren't you going to choose? I think the swords here are not up to par." Chu Shanyu calmly commented, "All right, I understand. Forget it, it'll take a veil." Chu Shanyu had her eyes on a treasure veil and took it right away. Han Yi saw the description and slowly read out loud, "White Purity Treasure Veil, 2000 lower grade spirit stones. Can protect against toxic dust and erosion from strong winds." He gave a slight smile. "It suits you indeed." Once Han Yi and Chu Shanyu had chosen their treasures, they quickly returned to the peak. As night fell on Ziwei Peak, it was far from peaceful. Many disciples were still practicing swordplay under the lights of the towers and halls. Han Yi could clearly feel that the disciples of Ziwei Peak were more studious than those from Pure Yang Peak, perhaps due to Elder Yu's influence. Elder Yu managed things more strictly and meticulously than his master, who tended to let his disciples manage themselves. Being a guest here, Elder Yu was very enthusiastic. With a wave of a hand, Han Yi had no choice but to stay for a while. He was assigned a separate bedroom, quite spacious, with a 3-bedroom suite. The murals and decor were all vintage, very grand. Sitting in his bedroom, Han Yi pondered, "Now I have Thunder Spiritual Root and I am cultivating every second of the day. The speed of my cultivation is at least 100 times faster than when I had Triple Spirit Roots. Now that a month has passed, my cultivation is becoming loose. Indeed, before reaching Golden Core, there is basically no bottleneck, and I can break through to the Sea Realm smoothly." Han Yi circulated the true Qi in his Danshin. The true Qi turned into rivers, continuously flushing through his meridians, like hundreds of rivers converging into the sea. Without any hindrance, the rich spiritual Qi from all around was being absorbed into his body. The absorption speed of the Thunder Spiritual Root for spiritual Qi was very fast. He could convert 90% of the absorbed spiritual Qi into true Qi. The conversion rate was extremely high. Gradually, a vortex formed in his Danshin. After the true Qi began to condense, his Danshin appeared to be a vast and boundless sea. Boom! The true Qi in his Danshin was boiling, transforming continuously, breaking through the obstacles, and successfully making a breakthrough in his realm. Han Yi slowly opened his eyes, knowing he had succeeded. Without the aid of elixirs, he successfully condensed his Qi Sea and officially stepped into the Qi Sea realm. Next, he could try to attempt foundation establishment. If possible, he could even consume a gathering Qi pill, then buy a foundation establishment pill and forcefully establish his foundation. However, such a move would be equivalent to drawing water with a sieve, the loss outweighing the gain. Slow and steady was better. With the Thunder Spirit Root, his cultivation speed wouldn't lack. The 5 elements attribute, he wondered what wonderful reaction would occur if he gathered them all. His fire and earth attribute now are complete, transformed into thunder. Progress on his wood spirit root is only 1/3, and his water spirit root is more than half. But his gold spirit root advances very fast. It is naturally very pure. It's nearing completion. Han Yi took a gathering Qi pill to consolidate his cultivation. He then began his much-anticipated alchemy business. A skilled alchemy master was very popular in the world of cultivators. After all, cultivators with low cultivation were the most numerous. The massive demand for elixirs meant there were large amounts of spirit stones waiting for him to earn. Han Yi took out the purchased pill furnace from his storage ring, opened the lid, and placed a ball of medicinal material bought today at Mount Duo Bao inside. I should start practicing with the simplest abstinence pill. The abstinence pill was the most basic elixir that every alchemy master should master first. It could solve the hunger problem for cultivators. He carefully inputted true Qi into the pill furnace. An orange flame automatically ignited at the base and started pulsating subtly. The more true Qi inputted, the fiercer the flame. This really drains true Qi. No wonder Su Zhaonan's blazing flame is so handy. Han Yi couldn't help but comment. The reason why blazing flame is convenient is because it doesn't require a pill furnace, it can refine elixirs directly. Since that is the case, wouldn't ferocious fire gang Qi be able to do the same? An idea suddenly came to Han Yi. Though it was his first time refining elixirs, his mastery over the fire's strength was very skillful, just like an experienced alchemist. He watched as the medicinal material was boiled into a medicinal juice, which was constantly boiling. In the end, the big fire collected the juice and solidified it into shape. In a moment, the medicinal fragrance was rich and it filled the air with its scent. Han Yi stopped the input, propping his hand with true qi, and opened the scorching lid. 3 earth yellow pills, each with 3 rings on them, appeared inside the furnace. Han Yi knew a bit of knowledge about this. The 3 rings were pill patterns, which represented that the elixirs were nearly perfect. Moreover, the yield of pills was astonishing, with 3 in total. Very good, perfect grade abstinence pill. I was very successful for my first time refining elixirs, Han Yi said with a smile. He swallowed a freshly baked elixir to try its taste, chewing it slowly. Indeed, the taste was much better than the abstinence pill he had received in the sect. First time creating, second time familiarizing. Now let's try the qi nurturing pill. Han Yi took out the spirit-gathering grass from his ring, all of which were spiritual plants that he had grown himself, preparing to try the more challenging qi-nurturing pill. The day broke without him realizing it. The early rising inner sect disciples were preparing to wake everyone up to practice swordsmanship and start a day of collective training. However, they heard a joyful voice from a bedroom, sounding manic. "Ha ha ha! I did it!" One disciple went in and saw that the room was a total mess. The fragrance of the elixirs filled the room, and the temperature inside was much higher than outside. A pill furnace was placed on the table, along with bundles of spiritual medicines and white porcelain bottles filled with successfully refined elixirs. There were many sheets of paper strewn on the ground, covered in written elixir formulas. Han Yi stayed up all night refining elixirs. There were some blood threads in his eyes. Looking at the elixir in his hand, successfully refined by his ferocious fire gang qi, he was ecstatic. Presently, he was already capable of refining most basic elixirs found in the market. Moreover, he could use ferocious fire gang qi to do rough refining. Though the quality was much poorer than using a pill furnace, it would succeed. This unprecedented refining method had Han Yi exhilarated. He became a real pill crazy. "Junior brother Han Yi, it's time to practice." An inner sect disciple knocked on the door. He was a bit reluctant to interrupt. "Also, I think there are missions issued today. It's related to the demon cultivator incident from a few days ago. The master asked me to find you. Do you want to check it out?" Demon cultivator? Upon hearing the keyword, Han Yi quickly put down what he was doing and rushed towards the door. Greetings, elder. Greetings, elder." In the morning, one disciple after another among the inner sect greeted Elder Yu. Yu Langlang slightly nodded, then began to speak. "I gathered you all here today because our sect master has the latest progress on the matter of demon cultivators. I'm here to assign you the trial mission of exploring the demon cultivators. The demonic sect has been spreading demonic cultivation methods throughout the secular world. Recently, demon cultivators have been appearing frequently and need to be cleaned up. Your task is to eliminate these guys and wipe them out completely. Elder Yu, is there any news of Miss Chu?" At this time, a towering figure broke into the peak, interrupting Elder Yu's speech. It was Han Yi, who was late, looking hopeful. There were blood threads under his eyes. He looked extremely tired. Everyone saw that Han Yi dared to interrupt Elder Yu's speech, and their hearts tightened. But Yu Langlang was not angry. Instead, she looked in Han Ye's direction, quietly and calmly said, "Three."